All right, everybody, we're back. Season 3, Episode 2, Dating Your Spouse. The importance of
Ooh.
continuing to date and pursue each other within a committed relationship. Oh, this is
Ooh.
a good one here.
Mm.
Okay. Well, as always, our host, Rain Congrejo. Welcome as always.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm going to let you take this one.
Ooh, me.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
It's a hard one
Dating
for
your
me.
spouse. Yes.
Um, I, let's put it this way. I feel that people miss the mark when they get into a relationship and they don't remember the times that they had, when they were actually dating. So, we go through the courting process, however long that may be, for each individual is different. And then we get into a committed relationship, and then we go on and maybe we decide that we're going to live together or we're going to get married and moved on to that next chapter in our life. And then what happens is you get so caught up in the mundane stuff from day to day that you forget what brought you together. And so what happens is people start to fight. One person may feel a certain way, the other person's looking at them like they're totally out of their mind. And it's really kind of realizing that you still have to make time to really cultivate that relationship, because we literally, how we were a year ago is not how we are today. And you and I have talked about this many different times. Like I would say
Yes.
something, I would say something to you like, or we both kind of, it's not just me, it's you too, but we'd say
True.
something like, wow, we used to talk like this at night, or wow, we used to do da 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 da, and we'll come back at each other like that, and then we'll realize we're like, oh yeah, we're kind of past that now. We're kind of past that lovey puppy dog stage where, oh my God, we talked until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and now we're lucky if we make it to 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Before
Mm-hmm.
passing out, but we've made it to that we've made it to another level. And I think now it's fun because now we get to see, okay, what can we do in this area of our life now that we've gotten to, over that year mark, and really understanding and knowing each other. And so it just got more fun. So it's like, what can I do for you? So take example, for Christmas. You had you had something made for me, that I can wear, and I got you a humidor. And that came from us really kind of talking, understanding, knowing each other, and listening to each other. And you weren't expecting the humidor, nor was I expecting you to buy me something that I could wear, you know. And so it's really now to a level where, okay, let's see what else we can know about each other, or let's go into, deeper communication, and really have that time to spend and say, okay, at the end of our night, this is what we do. We get to talk, we get to do this, and then we're okay being with that 9:30 because we've actually spent those whatever 1 or 2 hours together, but we made it meaningful. Because people think that you have to spend all this time together. No, date night could be like me and you. It'll be the end of we do it every day, every night, and it could be an hour or two, and we're just catching up on the day, what worked, what didn't work, how are we feeling, and then we talk about some goofy stuff and we laugh and then we go to bed. And so I think people forget that you have to keep that kid mentality in your relationship to really have fun. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, it's like and I always like to compare it to things that's tangible. So it's just like a job, right? When you first start your job, it's all this is so cool and all the people are so nice, and then a year later you're like, damn, I gotta go in tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not like that, right? But the fact is, things change. And how do you rekindle that feeling of, oh, this was so cool? It might be maybe participating in a different project. It might be a promotion. Same with a relationship. You're not going to have that same lovey-dovey stuff that you had in the beginning, right? That's cool.
Hmm.
As time go on now, I know what Rain is about. I know what she likes. I know what she don't like. I know what I can joke with, and I know what I can't. But the courting still doesn't stop. It could be the
Right.
conversation we talk about. It could be just simply expressing how you feel.
Right.
or how check-ins with the relationship. Hey, I really love how this is going with us so far, and this is what I love about it, and not being afraid to ask. A lot of times, we don't want to ask the hard questions because we're afraid the answer we're gonna get. But
Mhm.
that's the only way you're gonna grow is if you ask those questions because now you know.
Mhm.
It takes one thing for you to ask that question, but then it takes another for the person on the other end to actually answer that question truthfully, right?
Mhm.
So, is are you going to sugarcoat it, which is not going to be good, or are you going to keep it real and say, well, hey, here's my thoughts on this. And then having some tact and some coof as far as like the person's feelings and acknowledging that the person, it took them a lot to even ask that question.
Right.
So for you to just come back in some, way without even considering their feelings, that says a lot too. So there's ways that you're still courting this person, that you're your spouse, you know, by just how you guys interact every day. We
Right.
we talk about it, we joked about it, but just the other day we was talking like Valentine's is coming up next, and it's like everybody in commercial and everything, all this, that, and the other about Valentine's, but Valentine's should be every day.
Right.
It shouldn't be on just one day a year. I'm not saying every day you're going to these restaurants and buying these elaborate gifts, but sharing that love with someone, if it's your spouse, if it's a brother, sister, whatever, that should be every day.
Right.
Not just on one particular day. Okay, now I'm going to go do this for you and this and that. I can express those same things in multiple ways. I think
Right.
that's what makes the whole dating your spouse and keeping that whole, you know, that whole thing going is the act of continually trying to move the relationship in a way, keeping that line of communications there. That's key. You know,
Right.
um, being in tune with the person, being in tune with your spouse. Some days I can just talk to you in just the way you say hello. When I call, I know you didn't had a messed up day,
Right.
or I know you had a great day, or I know it's some exciting news or something. And not
Right.
even that. Let's just put it out there. Not everything that someone is going through is going to be about you, right?
Right.
It could be about them. So be a fan, be their biggest cheer, be their biggest supporter. Just because it ain't about me, don't mean I can't be as excited for you because I know the
Right.
struggle you went through to get there, the work you put in to get to this point, whatever it is. It might be something you're building in Second Life. It might be some new thing you're learning, and it's you've put a lot of energy to get to this point. Oh, but because it ain't about me, it's just like, oh yeah, that's nice. That's cool. Oh, but look at this. What about me? I got this going on. What you think? No, you want that same thing from your spouse. So why wouldn't you do the same for them? That's what's the whole continuing the dating and the pursuing comes from, and keeps it going. You know, um, we all know people who've been married 50 years. Not everybody has that recipe or that secret sauce to make it last that long. But I
Right.
guarantee you that it wasn't peaches and cream for 49 years and then the 1 year there was some struggle. No,
Right.
it's been times that I'm sure they couldn't stand one another,
Right.
but they made this commitment to each other and they work together to achieve the goal. And I think
Right.
that is something that's missing, especially with SL. Let's just keep it real. You can be with somebody for 2 weeks. That's like damn near 6 months on SL, you
Mhm.
know? So now it's, oh, this is my love. This is my this, that, and the other. Or let's take it the other way. You have people that have been together for 9, 10, 11 years, and then they end the relationship. How does the relationship end? I've been with you for 9 years of your life. That's 9 holidays. That's 9, everything, right?
Mhm.
Birthdays, all this. And then we ain't together no more. Is it because of something that we're not doing? Are we not moving in the same direction? Are we not adjusting? It's no different than a machine, a car. You got a
Right.
brand new car. It's great in the beginning. Got that new car smell, all that, right? 6 years from now, I ain't gonna have that new car smell. 9 years from now, I ain't gonna have that new car smell, and stuff gonna start breaking down. Are you gonna fix those things, or are you gonna keep trying to ride it into the ground? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's work. At the end of the day, it's work. Even the whole courting years into the relationship is work.
Right.
So if you ain't willing to do that, don't get in it. Simple.
Right. Well, I think
You know,
people also, you and I have seen people go, I'm bored, or I don't want to be with you anymore because you just don't make me happy. And I think that's where people have this misconception that the other person is there to make them happy. If you can't make yourself happy by yourself, then guess what? You're never going to be happy with somebody else, because the thing about it is that's a heavy load for somebody else to carry your happiness. I do not expect you to carry my happiness. But what I do is I feed my happiness back into you that keeps us going.
very true. Very true. And as a spouse, true enough, I may not want to take that on or put that pressure on myself, but I know if I'm your partner and I'm supportive of what you're doing, I'm damn sure going to do all those things to try to get you there all the time. I'm going to try to, it may not be on me to do that, but I'm going to take that responsibility on to me,
Hmm.
because it's nothing better than seeing you in a good spot. It's nothing better than seeing you in a happy place. That's not monetary. Doesn't mean it has to be financially in a good place. It could be just supportive. It could be emotionally. It could be mental, right? So it's not
Right.
just on the buying you gifts and showering you with this and that. It could be with time, which is the most valuable item. I don't care what you say, time is something you can't get back. So once you spend that time, we're already 11 minutes into this podcast. You can't get that 11 minutes back. It's gone.
No,
It's done.
no.
So that's what I'm saying. When someone invests their time into you, that says a lot too. And they're supportive of you, So, and again, that's pouring into somebody. And we spoke about that in the previous seasons as well. Pouring into your
Right.
spouse, to where you're supporting them, you're uplifting them, you're there. If you're not adding to, then you're subtracting. And if you're subtracting, you don't need that. You got enough of that in your real life all day long. Bill
Look,
collectors subtract from you, they take from your bank account. Okay, these bills need to be paid. Work,
yeah, 90
people you work with, all that stuff, right? Go ahead.
yeah, they say 99 problems in a Mitch is not one. So it's like either you're there to support me or move out of the way.
Right.
And you and I don't we don't compete against each other. Now, Connect Four, different story. But anything
Ah,
else,
you brought
anything
that up.
else, but anything
Yeah,
else, I mean, we do not. I mean, you're a great DJ. You do what you do. I don't try to compete and say, oh, well, you're doing this. I'm doing this. No, we literally have our own elements of where we're good at, and we support each other in those areas.
facts. Yep.
And the thing about it is we do, again, people think you've got to have a date night, that you have to go to a restaurant, you have to do this, you have to do that. A date night literally could be us getting some popcorn, and we love to watch Sisters. So
True.
that's our date night. Every
Yep.
Wednesday night from 8 to 9, we're
Yep.
watching Sisters. So,
Yep.
and it's like we enjoy that, and it doesn't have to be something that's this extravagant thing. It's just about spending time and making sure you keep that connection.
Facts. Well, again, beautiful topic. You guys continue to send those topics in. Season three, we definitely going to be digging deeper, bringing more things to the forefront to the table. Again, Rain, thank you as always for being on the show. And anything you want to add?
No, this is going to be a great journey, season 3.
All right. With that, we'll catch you next time. Have a good evening.
Bye bye.